I see this pattern all the time in my practice with young men, usually in their 20s, who come in completely frustrated and honestly feeling broken. They've got a girlfriend, a fiance, or a wife they really care about, but they're experiencing erectile dysfunction. And the thing is this, it isn't something that we typically see from a medical standpoint at this age. I mean, ED is usually something more associated with men in their 50s or 60s, right? But here's what's actually happening, and it's probably not what you think. We've got a generation of young men who've been consuming pornography for many, many years, some starting as early as 8 or 9 years old. What's happening from a neurological perspective is interesting but devastating from a relationship standpoint. Before I explain exactly what's going on in your brain and how to fix it, let me share something important. According to recent studies, about 8% of men aged 20 to 29 experience erectile dysfunction, with 1 in 4 men seeking treatment being under the age of 40. You're not alone in this, and more importantly, you're not broken. What makes this particularly interesting is that for most young men experiencing ED, it's not actually a medical issue at all. It's something entirely different, something that's happening in your brain that's affecting your body's natural responses. And here's the good news, it's completely reversible. In this video, I'm going to break down the real reason you're experiencing ED in your 20s, what's actually happening in your brain, the solution that's worked for thousands of men, and why this isn't your fault and how to move forward. But first, let me explain something crucial about how your brain processes arousal, because this is where everything starts to make sense. 1. The neural pathway problem. When young men consume pornography, especially from an early age, it literally shapes the neural pathways in their brain. Think of it like this. Your brain is creating a very specific template for what arousal looks like, but it's based on something completely artificial. These aren't just my observations. Studies have shown that frequent pornography consumption can lead to what researchers call arousal template modification. What this means is that your brain has built up a very specific set of expectations about what sexual experiences should look like. The problem is that these expectations are completely unrealistic. They're based on exaggerated scenarios, perfect camera angles, and heavily edited content. Real intimate relationships don't work like that. 2. The resistance cycle. Here's where it gets really interesting, and this is something I see in my work with clients all the time. When you're with a real person, someone you genuinely care about, your brain might struggle to maintain arousal. Not because there's anything wrong with you or your partner, but because your neural pathways have been trained to respond to something completely different. Think about it like this. If you spent years training your brain to respond to highly stimulated artificial content, it's like trying to get excited about a home-cooked meal after years of eating nothing but overly seasoned fast food. Your taste buds, or in this case, your brain, have become desensitized to natural stimuli. This is what creates a resistance cycle. The more you've been exposed to artificial stimulation, the harder it becomes to respond to natural intimacy. It's not that you're not attracted to your partner, it's that your brain reward system has been rewired to expect something different. 3. The recovery process. Here's the good news, and this is really important. Your brain has an amazing ability to heal and rewire itself. This is called neuroplasticity, and it's the reason why recovery is absolutely possible. When a person stops consuming pornography, something remarkable happens. The brain begins to reset its arousal template. Think of it like rebooting a computer that's gotten bogged down in too many programs running in the background. Over time, your natural responses begin to return. Research shows that most men start seeing improvements within 3 to 6 months of making changes. This isn't just about stopping porn use, it's about allowing your brain to return to its natural state. Hey, if you're struggling with this and need support in your recovery journey, our program offers specialized help designed specifically for young men dealing with porn-induced ED. Click the link in the description to learn more about how we can help you reclaim your natural function. 4. The recovery support system. Here's the challenging part, and what I want to be completely honest with you about. If you've reached this point, you might be dealing with an addiction. That's really hard to break on your own. This isn't about willpower, it's about having the right support system and tools in place. Recovery typically involves 3 key components: professional guidance to understand and address the underlying issues, a supportive community of others who understand what you're going through, and a structured program designed specifically for porn addiction recovery. Think of it like rehabilitating a muscle. You need the right exercise, proper guidance, and consistent support to make sure you're healing correctly. Going it alone often leads to frustration and relapse. 5. Moving forward. The most important thing to understand is that this is a temporary condition. It's not a life sentence, and it's not a reflection of your masculinity or worth as a person. What you're experiencing is a natural response to unnatural stimulus, and your brain can absolutely recover from this. The majority of young men who commit to recovery and get proper support see significant improvements in their erectile dysfunction. The key is understanding that this isn't just about stopping porn use, it's about allowing your brain to heal and rebuild those natural neural pathways. Let me wrap this up by emphasizing something really important. What you're experiencing isn't a permanent condition, and it's definitely not your fault. You're part of a generation that was exposed to unprecedented access to pornography content before anybody really understood the neurological implications. The path moving forward is clear. 1. Understand that this is a brain issue, not a physical one. 2. Recognize that recovery is absolutely possible. And 3. Get the support you need. Don't try to tackle this alone. Remember those statistics I mentioned at the beginning? The 8% of men in their 20s experiencing ED? Well, here's what those numbers don't tell you. The majority of those men can and do recover when they get the right support and understanding of what's really going on. If you're ready to take the next step, check out our specialized recovery program. The link's in the description below. You're not broken, you're not alone, and with the right support, you can absolutely overcome this. See you in the next video.